What's up, guys? Today we're diving into one of hip-hop's most influential yet underappreciated architects, the legendary Heavy D. When the Overweight Lover suddenly passed away in 2011, the music world lost more than just a performer. They lost a kingmaker who shaped careers behind the scenes in ways most fans never realized. Did you know that without Heavy D, there might never have been a Diddy empire? That's right, it was Heavy who convinced Andre Harrell to hire the young Sean Combs at Uptown Records. During a rare 2010 interview, Diddy himself admitted, "I owe my entire career to Heavy's word. He vouched for me when nobody else would." Industry insiders have long whispered that Heavy's endorsement wasn't just casual. Some suggest he recognized something in Combs that reminded him of his own business acumen and fought hard against initial resistance from Uptown executives. The connections don't stop there. Jay-Z's collaboration with Heavy D on production work came during a pivotal moment in HOV's career trajectory. Music journalist Elliot Wilson once noted at a panel discussion that certain stylistic evolutions in Jay's approach coincided suspiciously with their studio time together, leading some to wonder just how extensive Heavy's uncredited influence might have been on one of rap's greatest voices. Perhaps most intriguing are the rumors that circulated after Heavy's memorial service, where several A-list artists were noticeably emotional beyond what might be expected for a mere colleague. Sources close to Mary J. Blige suggested she considered Heavy a secret mentor during her early career struggles, while Monifah has hinted in interviews that Heavy's guidance extended far beyond just discovering her talent. Today, we're connecting these scattered pieces to reveal just how extensively Heavy D shaped the industry we know today, and why some of music's biggest names might owe him more than they've publicly acknowledged. Before we dive into how Heavy D's empire came crashing down, hit that like button and subscribe to the channel if you're into deep dives like this. We break down the biggest stories in hip-hop history without the fluff, just facts, receipts, and a bit of industry reality. And trust me, you're going to want to see how this one ends. Before we get into the drama that unfolded after his passing, let's rewind and understand exactly who Heavy D was and why his impact on hip-hop was so revolutionary. Born Dwight Arrington Myers in Jamaica in 1967, Heavy D brought something completely fresh to the rap game when he burst onto the scene in the late 80s. What made Heavy D special wasn't just his flow, it was his entire persona. In an era when hip-hop was getting increasingly hardcore, here comes this big guy calling himself the Overweight Lover, dancing like nobody's business and spreading nothing but positivity. As he famously declared, "I got nothing but love for you, baby." His journey to stardom wasn't handed to him on a silver platter. Heavy and his partner Eddie F were out there hustling, trying to get noticed. Interestingly, Russell Simmons initially passed on signing them, a decision he probably regretted later. Instead, music executive Andre Harrell saw their potential and signed them to Uptown Records in 1986, making Heavy D and the Boys the very first act on the label. The group consisted of Heavy D as the charismatic frontman, with G-Wiz, Glenn Parrish, Trouble T-Roy, Troy Dixon, and DJ Eddie F, Edward Farrell, rounding out the crew. Their chemistry was undeniable, bringing a fresh energy to hip-hop that balanced party vibes with substance. What's fascinating is how Heavy managed to maintain his authentic Jamaican roots while creating music that resonated with mainstream American audiences. That Caribbean influence gave his sound a distinctive flavor that set him apart from other rappers of the era. His mother Eula was from St. Elizabeth Valley and his father Clifford from Mandeville. That heritage always informed his musical approach. Heavy D's rise wasn't just about his own career. He was actively shaping the future of hip-hop behind the scenes too. In what might be one of his most consequential moves, Heavy convinced Andre Harrell to hire a young intern named Sean Combs. Yes, that Sean Combs who would later become Puff Daddy and then Diddy. Without Heavy's endorsement, the entire landscape of 90s hip-hop and R&B might have looked completely different. What many casual fans don't realize is that Heavy D was as brilliant behind the scenes as he was on the mic. This wasn't just a performer, this was a music executive with serious business acumen who helped shape the sound of an entire era. When Andre Harrell left Uptown Records to become president of Motown, guess who stepped up to fill his shoes? That's right, Heavy D became president and CEO of Uptown Records. This wasn't a ceremonial title either. He was making real executive decisions that influenced the direction of R&B and hip-hop in the 90s. During his tenure as an executive, Heavy demonstrated an exceptional eye for talent. He played a crucial role in developing the boy band Soul for Real. Remember Candy Rain? That massive hit came under Heavy's guidance. He didn't just discover them, He served as executive producer and wrote several tracks on their breakout album. His production credits extended far beyond his own group. Heavy produced Jay-Z's collaboration with Lenny Kravitz on Guns N' Roses and Beanie Siegel's Feel It in the Air, tracks that showcased his versatility and understanding of different hip-hop styles. Perhaps most significantly, he discovered R&B powerhouse Monifah, further cementing his legacy as a talent scout with golden ears. What made Heavy's business approach unique was his integrity. In an industry often plagued by shady dealings, he maintained a reputation for fairness and honesty. This ethical approach earned him respect throughout the industry, allowing him to navigate both the creative and business sides of music without the drama that often followed other executives. His business mindset wasn't limited to music production either. Heavy diversified his career portfolio long before that became standard practice for artists. He ventured into acting, appearing in shows like A Different World, Living Single, and films including Life and Tower Heist. Each of these moves demonstrated his understanding that building a sustainable career meant expanding beyond just making records. By the time he reached his 40s, Heavy had ascended to the position of Senior Vice President at Universal Music, a remarkable achievement for someone who started as a performer. This trajectory from artist to high-level executive remains relatively rare in the music industry, especially for someone who maintained their artistic credibility throughout the journey. Heavy D's journey wasn't without its profound challenges and heartbreaks. In 1990, the hip-hop community was stunned when Trouble T-Roy, a core member of Heavy D and the Boys, died in a tragic accident. During a tour stop in Indianapolis, T-Roy fell from a height and suffered fatal injuries in what was described as a freak accident. This wasn't just the loss of a group member. This was family to Heavy. The impact of T-Roy's death on Heavy D can't be overstated. Those close to him noted a fundamental shift in his outlook and approach to life after this tragedy. Pete Rock, Heavy's cousin and legendary producer, along with CL Smooth, created the iconic track, They Reminisce Over You, TROY, as a tribute, a song that has become one of hip-hop's most beloved classics and a testament to T-Roy's legacy. Heavy channeled his grief into the group's next album, appropriately titled Peaceful Journey. The project showed a more introspective side of Heavy D, balancing his signature upbeat tracks with moments of genuine emotional depth. This ability to transform personal pain into art that resonated with listeners showcased his growth as both an artist and a man. But the tragedies didn't stop there. In 1991, Heavy D organized a charity basketball game at City College of New York to raise money for AIDS education. What should have been a positive community event turned catastrophic when overcrowding led to a deadly stampede. 9 young people lost their lives in the crush of the crowd as thousands more people showed up than the venue could safely accommodate. The aftermath was devastating. Media outlets were quick to place blame, with some unfairly using the incident to reinforce negative stereotypes about hip-hop culture. The legal fallout was extensive, with City College ultimately bearing 50% of the responsibility, while Heavy D and Sean Combs were assigned the other 50%. Families of victims received settlements, including $40,000 from Combs. Though Heavy wasn't found criminally responsible, friends reported that he carried the emotional weight of this tragedy for the rest of his life. The incident led to significant changes in how venues handled security for hip-hop events, but that provided little consolation for the lives lost and forever changed that day. These back-to-back tragedies marked a turning point for Heavy D. While he continued to create music, there was a noticeable shift in his priorities. He began focusing more on acting and behind-the-scenes work, perhaps seeking some distance from the painful associations of his music career. After focusing heavily on his acting and executive career through the early 2000s, Heavy D began plotting what many saw as a promising musical comeback. In 2011, he surprised and delighted fans with a performance at the BET Hip Hop Awards that reminded everyone why he was such a beloved figure in the first place. This wasn't just any performance. Heavy put in serious work to prepare for his return to the stage. As he later revealed in interviews, "I was in rehearsals for 6 weeks, 8 hours a day just getting in dance steps, trying to get my wind back up." The dedication showed. Looking trimmer than he had in years and moving with his signature grace, Heavy D appeared rejuvenated and ready for a new chapter in his career. The industry response was overwhelmingly positive. Offers for new projects started coming in, and there was genuine excitement about what Heavy might do next. He had successfully navigated the transition from 90s star to respected industry veteran, positioning himself for what could have been an impressive second act in the spotlight. Then came November 8, 2011, a date that shocked the hip-hop world. Heavy D collapsed outside his home in Beverly Hills after returning from a shopping trip. He was rushed to Cedars-Sinai Medical Center, but was pronounced dead shortly after arrival. He was just 44 years old. The cause of death was initially unclear, leading to rampant speculation. Was it his weight? Drugs? Some unknown health condition? The uncertainty only added to the sense of shock and disbelief throughout the music community. Eventually, the Los Angeles County Coroner's Office determined that Heavy D died from a pulmonary embolism, a blood clot that traveled to his lung. They also noted that he had been suffering from heart disease and that a long flight from London shortly before his death may have contributed to the formation of the fatal blood clot. At the time of his passing, Heavy weighed 344 pounds. While he had lost significant weight for his comeback performance, the years of carrying extra weight had taken a toll on his cardiovascular system. Importantly, toxicology reports found no drugs or alcohol in his system. This wasn't a case of substance abuse, but rather a health condition that went undetected until it was too late. The timing made the loss even more poignant. Just as Heavy D was reclaiming his place in the spotlight and introducing himself to a new generation of fans, his story came to an abrupt and premature end. His final tweet, posted on the morning of his death, read simply, "Be inspired." A fitting final message from an artist who had spent his career spreading positivity. In the wake of Heavy D's sudden passing, what should have been a time of unified mourning instead revealed fractures within his inner circle. As details of his estate and final arrangements emerged, whispers of family tensions began to surface, tensions that would eventually spill into the public domain. At the time of his death, Heavy D's estate was valued at approximately $6 million, substantial, but perhaps less than might be expected for someone of his stature and business acumen. The question of how these assets would be distributed quickly became complicated, particularly regarding provisions for his daughter, Z Myers, his only child from his relationship with chef Antonio LaFaso. Those closest to Heavy D described him as a devoted father who prioritized his relationship with his daughter above all else. Journalist Dream Hampton noted that Heavy never missed breakfast with his daughter, a testament to his commitment to fatherhood despite his busy career. This dedication made the subsequent disputes over his estate all the more troubling. While the specific details were largely kept private, industry insiders reported growing tensions between different factions of Heavy's family regarding control of his musical legacy and financial assets. Some family members allegedly attempted to position themselves as the primary caretakers of his memory and work, creating friction with others who had been more consistently present during his life. The situation was further complicated by the fact that Heavy D died without a comprehensive will that clearly outlined his wishes for both his creative legacy and financial holdings. This unfortunately common oversight among entertainers left room for interpretation and disagreement among those he left behind. Particularly concerning were reports about the relationship between certain family members and Z, who was only 11 years old when her father passed away. Sources close to the situation suggested that some relatives were more focused on controlling Heavy's assets than ensuring his daughter maintained a connection to her father's legacy and received the support he would have wanted for her. Adding another layer to the post-death complications was the management of Heavy's unreleased music. Like many prolific artists, he had accumulated a significant vault of completed or near-completed tracks that had never seen official release. Questions about who had the authority to make decisions about this material and who would benefit from its potential release reportedly created additional points of contention. What makes these behind-the-scenes tensions particularly sad is how they contrast with Heavy D's public persona and the values he espoused throughout his career. As someone who consistently promoted positivity, family, and integrity, the discord that followed his death stands as an unfortunate coda to a life otherwise characterized by bringing people together. Despite the unfortunate family drama that followed his passing, Heavy D's musical and cultural legacy remains undeniable. His influence extends far beyond his own hits, touching multiple aspects of hip-hop and R&B that continue to resonate today. Heavy D pioneered the concept of the charismatic big man in hip-hop who could move with grace and confidence. Before him, there was an unspoken assumption that rap stars needed to fit a certain physical mold. Heavy shattered that limitation, embracing a size with his Overweight Lover persona while simultaneously showcasing dance skills that would impress performers half his size. This opened doors for other artists who didn't fit the conventional image of what a rap star should look like. His musical innovation can't be overstated either. Heavy was among the first to successfully blend hip-hop with R&B and reggae influences, creating a sound that was commercially viable while maintaining artistic integrity. Tracks like Now That We Found Love demonstrated how rap could incorporate melodic elements without sacrificing authenticity, a blueprint that countless artists have followed since. As an executive, Heavy D's impact was equally significant. His eye for talent and understanding of market trends helped shape the sound of 90s R&B and hip-hop. By elevating artists like Soul for Real and Monifah, he expanded the sonic palette of black music during a crucial evolutionary period. His transition from artist to executive also provided a template for career longevity that many have since emulated. Perhaps most importantly, Heavy maintained a positive message throughout his career at a time when hip-hop was increasingly embracing harder, more confrontational themes. While never preachy, his music consistently promoted joy, respect, and celebration, values that provided a necessary counterbalance in the culture. This positive approach likely contributed to his crossover success and ability to collaborate with pop icons like Michael and Janet Jackson. The circumstances of his death also sparked important conversations about health in the Black community, particularly regarding conditions like heart disease and pulmonary embolism that disproportionately affect African Americans. Though tragic, his passing raised awareness about the importance of regular medical checkups and the risks associated with long flights and sedentary lifestyles. The complicated aftermath of Heavy D's death offers sobering lessons about the importance of proper estate planning, especially for entertainers. His situation underscores why having clear, legally sound arrangements for both financial assets and creative works is essential, not just for personal peace of mind, but to protect loved ones from unnecessary conflict during an already difficult time. As we reflect on Heavy D's life and legacy, what emerges is a portrait of a multifaceted artist and businessman who changed the game in numerous ways. Despite the tensions that surfaced after his passing, his contributions to music and culture remain undisputed. In the words of his cousin Pete Rock, Heavy D was a gentle giant. His legacy will live forever through his music and all the people he touched. When we look at Heavy D's story in its entirety, we're reminded that even the brightest stars face challenges, both public and private. His journey from Jamaican immigrant to hip-hop pioneer to music executive represents the very best of what determined talent can achieve in the entertainment industry. The most fitting tribute to Heavy D isn't just remembering his hits, but carrying forward the positive energy and innovative spirit that defined his approach to music and life. As he reminded us in his final message to the world, "Be inspired," words that continue to resonate more than a decade after his passing.